Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Bommer LB4381-400-601. This is a 4x4 single acting spring hinge, full mortise, residential weight, lube bearing, steel base, bright black japanned hinge. Okay. Let's dissect the part number. First of all, LB stands for lube bearing. That's a maintenance-free sort of bearing construction of this spring hinge. 4381 is specifically representative of the fact that this is a hinge intended for use on Stanley door systems that is going to feature a square corner on one leaf, a radiused, 5/8 radiused corner on the other leaf. Okay. Going to have a screw hole pattern specific for Stanley construction, Stanley door type construction. There is a link below this video to the template, which will show everything important dimensionally about the hinge so that you can review all that information prior to ordering it to make sure it's correct. The -400 means that it's a 4-inch by 4-inch hinge. The first dimension is the height on a hinge like this, 4-inch tall, and the width is 4-inch. Okay. The 601 means it's the bright black japanned finish. Okay. Those little smudges on there are just my fingerprints. You can see from the swag on the hinge leaves that the hinge is full mortise, intended to be mortised flush to the edge of the door and frame when it's installed properly. The leaf thickness is residential in nature, meaning that it is approximately 97 thousandths of an inch thick on the leaf, which will accommodate anywhere from 0.085, it's 96 thousandths, forgive me if I said something else, it's 0.096, which is very typical. So anywhere from between 85 thousandths and 109 thousandths deep on the hinge is going to work real well with this. Includes screws and a complementary finish. Also, being a spring hinge, it's going to include a tension rod and tension pins. Okay. That black piece of metal there is the tension rod, and then the pin is that silver pin that you see there. There's only one pin because there's only one hinge on this order. Now, there's a guide below this video in terms of how many hinges you would use based on the door size and width. First of all, you're really only dealing with doors up to 3 foot by 7 foot. 85-pound doors, 2 spring hinges and a regular hinge, and 110-pound doors, 3 spring hinges. And you can mix and match these with a standard 4x4 hinge because the axis of pivoting is compatible with this hinge. Okay, so you could have 2 in 1, or 1 in 1, or whatever. Now, I'm a fan of all spring hinges on a door, even when it doesn't require it, because I have found a greater amount of success when you've got more spring power doing the work overall. The analogy is like a tugboat. They don't go very fast, but they can pull a lot of weight real slow. And the more spring hinges, pardon me, in my mind, help allow you to achieve a greater amount of success when you're trying to close the door, because a spring hinge has got a lot of things to overcome. The weight of the door, air pressure as it's going through its closing cycle, the friction of the latch bolt striking the strike plate to get it closed. Then I have found when you've got less spring hinges than otherwise, you've got a good ability to get the door into the closing cycle, but it really starts to die off there at the end. More spring hinges, I have found, allow me to not set the tension so high that I'm getting the door to slam, but I can set that reasonable so that it's more controlled, so at the very closing cycle of the door I've got enough stored energy in the springs to get it finally latched without allowing it to slam as a result of putting too much tension on the spring. Now, setting the spring is really easy, and they're non-handed in the sense that you can install it with the tension collar, it's that item in there with the holes in it, up or down. It's going to be either way. However, when the tension collar is up, and use this as reference, rotate the tension collar clockwise. And as you do that, you can see that you reveal additional holes inside of there. And it's into one of those new holes that you would insert the tension pin. So if you're going to turn that over, crank it, counterclockwise. And it's going to work just fine for you because you've got a radius by square corner sort of situation, so you might very likely need to turn that over. Bommer is a full-line manufacturer of all things spring hinge related, and this hinge is available in several different colors. Bright black Japan is not uncommon. I'd like to point out to you the Bommer logo there. Right above it, it says Made in USA, a fact that Bommer is quite proud of, as am I to represent them. They're a full-line manufacturer of all things, not only residential spring hinge related, but architectural and commercial hinges as well. The name Bommer is synonymous with hinge, as it is with their postal specialties material as well. American-made, fantastic quality, exceptionally knowledgeable people, and it's a pleasure to be a distributor of theirs. Any questions on the Bommer number LB4381-400-601, Single Acting Spring Hinge, or any other Bommer product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.